Hello, everybody. It's that time. Common Core Algebra 2 Test 3 review sheet. You can see when the test is. Let's get started. Now, I'm not going to go over every single problem in this packet. There's 3 or 4 types of each type of question. I'll go over 1 or 2 of them for the most part. And then from there, you also have the answer key, which is I sent to you on Remind. It's also on the e-board. So let's get this thing started. 2 ways to do this problem. A, multiple choice strategy. I'm going to show you how to do this using multiple choice strategy, and then I'm going to show you how to do it by hand. So I'm going to get my calculator up. There it is. Now I have a little problems here. Let's go over here. All right, so I'm going to go to my calculator. I am going to make sure I set a value for x, 10 store as x. And then I'm going to type in the original problem, x to the power of negative alpha y equals enter, 2 over 5. I'm going to get out of the exponent, second math equals, I'm going to type in each answer, negative radical, because the index is 2, the root is 2, I don't have to type that in, x to the power of 5, it tells me 0, so that's not the answer. I'm going to copy that. Now I'm going to erase this radical, delete, delete, delete. I want that negative though. I want to get rid of that, delete. And to type in that 5th root, I hit 5, then I hit math, option 5, which has a little x in front of the radical, and then I'm going to type in x squared. Oh, I don't want that. Oh, whoa, that negative should not be there. I got to get out of there, second insert, negative. That's better. That's not the answer. All right, let's try choice 3. Delete, 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 delete. Alpha y equals enter 1 over second radical x to the power of 5. Again, I don't have to type the 2 as the root because a regular radical has a 2 as a root. That's not the answer. Well, I really hope that choice 4 gives me what I want. Let's get in there. I got to delete this radical so I can put in the other index. All right, so I'm going to hit 5, math, 5, x squared. And yay! If it gives me a 1, it's correct. If it gives me a 0, it's not correct. So my answer is choice 4. Now I'm going to go with this one by hand. This one's definitely easier to do by hand. But if you don't know how to do it, the multiple choice strategy will give you the answer. There's a song to help you with this. Radicals are fractional exponents is the first line of the song. There's no radicals in the original problem, so don't do that. Get rid of parentheses, so don't have to do that. Negative exponents are fractions. Yes, I have negative exponents. This thing right now is over 1. Whatever is being raised to the negative power goes to the bottom. Becomes positive 2 over 5. Then I clean it up. Well, again, radicals are fractional exponents. The power over the root, the power is 2, the root is 5. For some reason, the multiple choice strategy was weird on this one with 10. If you put a different value for 10, it would have worked out. but I'll do this one by hand. Same type of thing here. Negative exponents are fractions. 1 is going to move to the bottom, n is going to move to the top, and then it becomes positive 2/3. N over 1 is just n. And then to rewrite it as a radical, power over the root. Power is 2, root is 3. Answer is choice 3. Choice 4, same type of thing. Negative exponents are fractions. This goes to the bottom. Becomes positive. Radicals are fractional exponents. The x squared minus 1 goes in the radical. Power over the root. Power is 2, root is 3. Answer is choice number 2. So that's one type of question that will be in the exam. Let's move on to another type of question that will be in the exam. You need to know what this means. It means inverse. And you need to know when you see inverse, that means switch x and y. So I'm going to write this as y equals x squared plus 2. And when I switch x and y, it becomes x equals y squared plus 2. Now all we have to do is solve it for y. So I subtract 2, y squared equals x minus 2, square root, y equals radical x minus 2. So each inverse of x equals radical x minus 2. I'm not going to go over another inverse, same thing. For this type of question, it's very important to understand a couple of things. For exponential and for logarithm. For exponential, every non-translated exponential passes through 0, 1. Every logarithmic passes through 1, 0. Exponential has horizontal asymptote. If it's not translated, it's at y equals 0. Logarithmic has a vertical asymptote, and if it's not translated, it's at x equals 0. And what's super important to understand is that they are inverses of each other. They're a reflection in the line y equals x, which is why 0, 1 becomes 1, 0, and the horizontal asymptote becomes a vertical asymptote. So what might help in this problem, even though you don't need to do it, if I pull up the calculator and actually graph it, that's going to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to pull up my calculator. I'm going to type in y equals e to the power of x e to the power of x. I'm going to graph it. And I'm going to look at, is this thing asymptotic to the x-axis? Yes, the x-axis is an asymptote. If I draw on this, will it go away? No, perfect. It is, oh, my board's all uncalibrated. But yes, it is asymptotic to the x-axis. The domain is all real numbers. Yes. Okay, the domain goes from negative infinity to positive infinity. It lies in quadrants 1 and 2. Yes, it's in quadrants 1 and 2. It passes through the point e, comma 1. No, it passes through the point 0, comma 1. That's your answer. Let's pull this one up, log base 6x. If you don't know how to type log base in, that makes me very angry, very frustrated, because I don't know what you've been doing. What have you been doing? Alpha, window, 5, log base 6, of x. I'm going to get that blue out of there in just a moment. It's bothering me. There's my log graph. The asymptote has equation y equals 0. No, the asymptote is x equals 0, so that's not true. The graph has no y-intercept. That's true. It's getting closer and closer but never touching. The domain is positive reals. Yes, the domain starts at 0 and goes on to infinity. The range is all real numbers. Yes, that's true. Asymptote is not y equals 0, x equals 0. And finally, the next one. Y equals 4 to the power of x. So let's get my calculator back up. Y equals 4 to the power of x. Graph. Which is true? The asymptote is y equals 0. Yep. It has no y-intercept. That's not true. It has a y-intercept. It's right there. The range is a set of all real numbers? No. There's no graph down here. And it passes through 1, 0? No. Whoa. It passes through 0, 1. So the only one that's true is, there's no number, but whatever, this one. Next type of question. I did a thorough job on that one. I'm not going to do, I'll just do one of these to solve a system where it's just around to the nearest 10th. I'm really not going to be able to do it algebraically, so I'm going to use my calculator. So I'm going to go to y1. I'm going to go to y equals, get rid of that blue. I'm going to go to y equals. I'm going to type in alpha window 5 log base 3 of x, and then I'm going to type in x minus 5 squared. I'm going to hit graph. That gives me my standard picture. Now, you may or may not see what you want to see. Right now, I see what I want to see. I see the intersection points there and there. If you don't see them, you could do zoom 0, which is zoom fit, and that will give you what your calculator thinks you want to see. However, sometimes it's right and sometimes it isn't. Like, I don't like that at all. I want to go back to what I had, so I'm going to go back to zoom 6. But zoom fit will, most of the time, give you a good picture. You could also go into window and adjust your values, your x min, x max, y min, y max. But I'm happy with what I have. So if I want to find the intersection points, I do second calc, I do intersect, and I'm going to move my cursor to where I think the intersection point is, or as close to it as I can. That looks perfect. Enter, enter, enter. Because in this particular problem, I said to the nearest 10th, round those values to the nearest 10th. That's 3.9, 1.2. That's really sloppy. This thing isn't very calibrated. I'm going to take a quick moment and do that. Please bear with me. Wish I could play some elevator music right now. I'm kind of lightheaded, so if I pass out and hit the ear loud thump or something, you might want to do something. Or not. No, whatever. Let me try that again. 3.9, 1.2. Oh, it's even worse. Oh, cool. All right. Try that one more time. Sorry about that. .9, 1.2. Woo! All right. However, there's another intersection point. So I'm going to go back to my calculator, I'm going to repeat the process. Second calc, option 5. I'm going to move my cursor to the other point of intersection. I'm going to hit enter, enter, enter. 6.3, 1.7. And that's my answers, the 10. 11, 12, 13, same type of thing. Did I write that down correctly? 6.3, 1.7, yeah. All right, what do we got next? Ooh. So there's a couple different ways to do this. I'm going to use multiple choice strategy for this. These questions, I think, are very challenging. 2-point questions. It's a lot easier to do using multiple choice strategy. So I'm just going to go through each choice, type it in, see what's correct. I got 4x squared minus 49. Whatever variable it gives me, I'm just going to put x instead, since I set a value for that earlier. Second test equals 2x plus 7. Let me trace my fingers. 2x, ooh, this is faster, minus 7. Is that correct? Yes. X, well, before we do that, let me just set a value for y, since I have a second variable now. If I didn't do that already, I'm not sure if I did. So now I'm going to do x cubed minus 8 alpha 1 y cubed. And by the way, choice 1 was difference of 2 squares. Choice 2 is difference of 2 cubes. X minus 2y x squared plus 2x y plus 4y squared. That's correct. Whew. Choice 3, x cubed. It's a lot faster when you're actually typing into an actual calculator. This thing's kind of annoying. 3x squared minus 4x plus 12. Second test. Oops, second test. Second test. Oh my god. Second test equals x minus 2 squared x plus 3. This choice is grouping. That's not right. So that's going to be my answer, but I'll just verify that. I'll go to the fourth choice. X to the third plus 5x squared plus 6x plus x squared plus 5x plus 6. Second test equals x plus 1. If you could see what I was doing right now, you'd laugh at me. I'm in a very awkward position, hunching over my laptop. My back hurts. You don't really care. That one works. Choice 3 doesn't. It might be a little annoying, but multiple choice strategy will always give you the correct answer. It's 15, same type of thing. Directrix of the parabola. So for these focused directrix problems, you need to know that the vertex is in between focus and the directrix. So this equation is telling me that the coordinates of the center of the vertex, the x-coordinates 4, the y-coordinates -3. So 4, -3 is the vertex. The directrix is y equals -4, 5, 6. So since the vertex is between the directrix and the focus has got to be up here somewhere. So where exactly is it? Let's count. It's 1, 2, 3 from the directrix to the vertex. So go up 1, 2, 3 more. This is my focus. 4, 0. I want to do one more with you for this type of question, one where we're actually writing the formula. Number 17, it's giving me the focus is 2, -3. It's giving me the directrix is y equals -1. Sorry, my board stinks. Don't install the markers. That kind of stinks. This is too ugly. I can't as a math teacher put that up on the board there. Got to do a little better than that. Oh, it's going to be hard though. See, my finger's straight. Oh boy. Let's try that one more time. It's a really boring video. I could hear it in my voice too. I sound bored. I almost passed out a couple times. But I did not. Alright, that's better. So my vertex has to be between the focus and the directrix, which means it's got to be right here. That's 2, -2. So to write the equation, we have a solve. X minus v squared equals 4p. Y minus p. So I need the v, the t, and the p. Well, the v and the t are the coordinates of the vertex, 2 and -2. P is the distance from the vertex to the focus, or from the vertex to the directrix. In this case, it is 1. So it's x minus 2 squared. Let me write where some more space. X minus 2 squared equals 4 times 1. Y plus 2. Because it's minus, I negate whatever I have. 4 times 1 is 4. Divide by 4, divide by 4. 1/4 x minus 2 squared equals y plus 2. Subtract 2, subtract 2. 1/4 x minus 2 squared minus 2 equals. Practice it if you need to. All my worksheets are on the e-board as well. You can get them all from Schlansky.com. Is x minus 6 a factor? There's 2 ways to do this. First way, easiest way, remainder theorem. If x minus 6 is a factor, then p of positive 6 negate what the factor is, will give you the remainder. I believe that was 23. If the remainder is 23, then no. The remainder must be 0. The other way to do it is your long division. So for long division, I have x to the third. You know what? I don't think that's going to happen right now, the way the board's acting. Let me try one more time. No. So sorry. Now, this next example, I will do remainder theorem for you again. I would do p of negative 2, because x plus 2, the 0 would be negative 2. Negative 2 cubed minus 3 times negative 2 squared minus 8 times negative 2 plus 4. When you do that, you do get 0. So if the remainder is 0, then yes, because there is no remainder. Yes, because it divides evenly. Either one is fine. And I apologize, the board is acting up, and it's like Friday at 5 o'clock. Just not going to get fixed right. Even, odd, or neither. There's a few different ways to do this. For polynomials, it's simple. Look at the exponents. This one has 3 and 1. They're both odd. This one has 2, 4, and 1. 2 of them are even. 1 is odd. So it's neither. If there's a constant, it has an x to the 0 attached to it. They're both even. So the function is even. Now, there is no graph for this one. I'm sorry, there is no graph. It is not a polynomial. So you have to do this one graphically. We have a song for this type of problem as well. Even f of x equals f of negative x. It's symmetric to the y-axis. Odd f of negative x equals negative f of x symmetric to the origin. So graphically, it's even if it's symmetric to the y-axis. Let's pull up the calculator. If it's symmetric to the y-axis, then it is even. If it's symmetric to the origin, then it is odd. So, turn on, there you go. Y equals, clear. To type in absolute value bars, math, num, ABS, x plus 4. Graph. Is this thing symmetric to the y-axis? Yes, it is. Therefore, it's even. If I do the absolute value of x plus 4, is this thing symmetric to the y-axis? No. Is it symmetric to the origin? No. Therefore, it is neither. Ten over x. Alpha y equals enter 10 over x. Is it symmetric to the y-axis? No. Is it symmetric to the origin? Yes. Therefore, it's odd. Symmetric to the origin? Odd. Symmetric to the y-axis? Even. Symmetric to the origin? Odd. Want me to graph this thing? First of all, you could always look at the calculator to help you, but we're going to do this by hand. I'm not using the calculator at all. I want you to find the zeros. So we're going to do 0 equals x to the third minus 2x squared minus 3x. Well, to solve this, Mr. X squared, he wants a party. Everyone needs to come over. Everybody is over. Party time. What do they do at the party? Bubbles. Bubbles mathematically means factor. Can you factor further? Yes. Let each factor equal to 0. X equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X is negative 1. X is 3. So 0, positive 3, negative 1. I have odd degree, and I have positive coefficient, so I know it's going to be chair-shaped, and that's my little picture. None of them are double roots, so they're all going to pass through. I'm just going to sketch my graph. It's going to look like that. That's all I'm going to do for you right now. Again, you have these all worked out for you on the answer key, but that's it. Again, use the calculator. You're taking your test. Use the calculator as a guide. 2 methods. I'm only doing one, because I only want you doing one. I want you to do matrix method. X, Y, Z equals A inverse B. A is the coefficients of the actual system. 1, 2, negative 3, 2, negative 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. B is, this is nothing by the way, is the solutions, or the answers, the right-hand side of the equations. Now, I'm going to put these into the calculator. If you don't know how, just watch, and you'll know how, and then practice. Because you should not be getting this wrong. It will make me upset if you get this wrong. I don't want to be upset. I want to be happy. It will happen if you get this question correct. Second matrix. Matrix, I'll do that again. So the matrix is right above the x to the negative 1, the inverse button. So I do second matrix. I'm going to tab over to edit. I'm going to go to A. A is a 3 by 3 matrix. So I do 3, enter, 3, enter, 1, 2, negative 3, 2, negative 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. To get out of here, second, quit. Now that I typed A in, I repeat the process for B. Second matrix, edit. B is not a 3 by 3, but B is a 3 by 1. And I'm going to type in my negative 2, 7, negative 4. And I'm going to get out of there. Now that I have those typed in, I need to do A inverse B. So I go back to my matrix menu. I hit enter at A. Inverse is that same button I've been hitting, just not second. Second matrix B. Those are my answers. 1, negative 3, negative 1. Getting lightheaded again. I'm going to be okay. What did I say? 1, negative 3, negative 1? So x equals 1, y equals negative 3, z equals negative 1. If you get this question wrong, it just means you didn't prepare for it. Because it's easy as long as you practice it. So if you get this wrong, then you're telling me that you did not use this video, you did not practice on your own. It's a very simple question as long as you practiced it. I made a little mistake, 36 and 37 are the same problem. Aw, I think you'll be okay. 38. I see an exponential equation. It says that G is the final number of bacteria, A is the initial amount of bacteria. So when it says how many hours will 4 bacteria, that's your initial, that's your A. increase to 2500, that's your file number G. I'm going to sub in 2500 for G and 4 for A. And now to solve this equation, an exponential equation, the first step is always to isolate. I'm going to divide by 4. I get 625 equals 2.7 to the 0.584t. To get rid of exponents in an equation, log of both sides. So I'm going to do log 620. Oh boy. This is making me sad. I'm sure you find this very mesmerizing and peaceful. Let's see if that did anything. I have a feeling it didn't. Not very good. 2.7. It's a pretty target. Let's try that again. Put the 5 back. Log 625 equals log 2.7 to 0.584t. And the whole reason I do that is because the exponent comes in front. So it becomes log 625 equals 0.584t log 2.7. From there, just divide by 0.584 log 2.7. You literally type that into the calculator. I'm not going to do it. I guess I should do it. I'll do it. Log 625. So I'm going to go alpha y equals enter log 625 over 0.584 log 2.7. If you do not use alpha y equals enter, well, you're in trouble. It wants me to round to the nearest hour. That's 0 decimal places. T equals 11. I'm almost done, aren't I? I'm not going to go over another one of these with you. It's the same type of thing. Just keep in mind for 39 and 40, you have fractions. To get rid of fractions, multiply. What else you need? I only got one more type of question, don't I? That's it. Average rate of change. We have a song for that too. F of B minus F of A over B minus A. Average rate of change. I'm done. You can listen to the song on your own. It's on the page. So, for each one I have to do it. In this particular problem, being how it wants me to put them in order from greatest to least. It makes it easier to have a table. I have a table here. It wants me to go from 0 to 3. So 0, 3. Here, when x is 0, y is 2. When x is 3, y is 9. Here, you can sub in or use the calculator to get the table. 0 squared is 0, minus 2 times 0 is 0. 3 squared is 9, minus 2 times 3 is 3. So this is going to be 9 minus 2 over 3 minus 0, which is 7 over 3, which is 2.3 repeated. This is 7 minus 1 over 3 minus 0, which is 6 over 3, which is 2. This is 3 minus 0 over 3 minus 0, which is 3 over 3, which is, which one is the greatest? Well, the order in which I did them. H of x is the greatest, then f of x, then g of x. H, F, G, choice 4. That's it. I'm not doing any more with you. Now, I spent quite a while making this video for you. The reason I spent all this time isn't because I love math so much, which of course I do, but because now that you have this, you have a resource for you to study, for you to practice, so we can get some confidence, we can do well in this exam, and we can know that we can do Algebra 2 moving forward. The choice is yours. If you choose to practice, use the video, use the key I made for you, utilize your classmates, you should do very well in this exam if you're willing to put the time in. If you're not willing to put the time in, that's your choice. But I can't really do much for you in this course if you're not going to put the time in. So how much time did I put in? Well, I just put in about 42 minutes. Plus I had to prepare this. Now I got to load it on, send it out. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to enjoy it though. You guys have a good weekend practicing, studying. Practice on Monday, study on Monday. And I'm looking forward to you guys doing well in this exam. Later.